Good morning. Are you serious? I am battling a terrible, terrible head cold, but we're going to try to give you some news on YouTube as we try to battle through our way here, all right? Are you serious? Oh, head is throbbing, but there is some important information going on today that we need to get to. I want to thank Nick of New York for this information. And let's talk about Russia. Let's talk about Russia on 3 points, okay? First one is a terrible accident. A helicopter has crashed in Russia. It was packed with passengers. It was on its way to Siberia. It crashed. 28 passengers on board. 19 of them are dead. 28 people on board. 19 are dead. The Mi-8 aircraft operated by Polar Airlines caught fire after crashing. There was 25 passengers, I'm wrong, and 3 crew members. Of the 28 people on board, 19 are dead. Terrible scene taking place there in Russia. Pray for the families of those that have died. It's terrible. Also, we have a situation with Edward Snowden. I want to thank Stephen of Oklahoma for this information, but Snowden threatens the new U.S. He is threatening everybody that he will release new information on United States classified documentation. And he is also asking numerous countries to give him asylum. Reports coming out of London and Moscow say that the former U.S. spy agency contractor Edward Snowden broke his silence yesterday, Monday, July the 1st, 2013, for the first time since fleeing to Moscow over a week ago, blasting the Obama administration and saying that he remained free to make new disclosures about U.S. spying activity. Snowden, who faces espionage charges in the United States and is believed to be staying in a transit area at Moscow's airport, surfaced with a letter to the Ecuadorian government and in a statement released through anti-secrecy groups WikiLeaks, which has taken up his cause. Now, WikiLeaks also released another statement saying that Snowden was asking for asylum in several countries, including Russia, China again, Brazil, India, and Ireland. Ecuadorian President Rafael Corona has quoted in Britain's Guardian newspaper as saying his country could not consider the asylum request unless Snowden was on Ecuadorian territory. In his WikiLeaks statement, Snowden accused the Obama administration of deception in a campaign to prevent him from finding political asylum and of leaving me a stateless person, a man without a country, by revoking his U.S. passport. Snowden is 30 years old. Has not been heard from in 8 days since he fled to Moscow from Hong Kong, where he had first taken refuge after fleeing Hawaii. So, Snowden is truly a man without a country right now with Russia. Now, also, we got one more report here. Stephen of Oklahoma got this to me. I'm going to try to get through this article because there's a lot of frustration with it. And we love our Russian brothers and sisters in Christ. It has nothing to do with the Russian citizens, but has to do with the Russian government and the United States government. A part of a deal signed last week in Washington, D.C., FEMA signs a deal with Russian Emergency Situations Ministry to exchange experts. As part of a deal signed last week in Washington, D.C., between the Russian Emergency Situations Ministry and FEMA. So their FEMA and our FEMA. They call theirs the Russian Emergency Situation Ministry. We call ours FEMA. Russian officials will provide security at mass events in the United States. What? 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 Why? A scenario that won't sit well with Americans weary of foreign assets operating on the United States soil. According to a press release by the Ministry of Russian Federation for Civil Defense and Emergencies, U.S. and Russian officials met on June 25th at the 17th Joint U.S.-Russian Cooperation Committee on Emergency Situations. In addition to agreeing with FEMA's to exchange experts during joint rescue operations and major disasters, the Russian Emergency Situations Ministry will also provide security at mass events in the United States. Why? This suggests that the events designated as national special security events, such as events being conducted by the Department of Homeland Security, including the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl? Do you want Russian troops guarding the outside of the stadium and inside the stadium security of the Super Bowl? Did you say Super Bowl? International summits, G8 summits, the presidential inauguration. I guess the Final Four, college basketball Final Four, national championship football games, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Toilet Bowl, wherever else you want to protect. Anyway, this report being released, of course, Drudge Report's covering it, as well as Alex Jones and Infowars.com and several other groups now. So I want to thank Stephen of Oklahoma. Again, is this global, what you see, let me tell you what's happening. The beast is rising. The beast is a new world order. It's in the Bible, and it is going to be a one world government. Okay? It's a one world government that will be led by the Antichrist and a false prophet. Now you can read this in Revelation 13 if you want to read about how it begins. Also, Apostle Paul actually talks about the Antichrist himself, the son of perdition, standing in the temple of God, which we know John F. Kerry is working very hard to help put an agreement together for a two-state solution with Palestine, with the Palestinians, so that Israel, but also it would include Israel rebuilding the temple. And that would be considered the covenant with many people, which is actually Daniel 9:27. Here's what it says in 2 Thessalonians. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. The mystery of iniquity doth already work. So the plan of the New World Order, the one world government, and the rise of an Antichrist with a false prophet is already in process. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, and that they all might be damned. Now, I could go on and read, but we're running out of time on this video. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time. We're in the last days. The New World Order is rising. And that's why these global armies are going to start working together, because there's only going to be one government anyway in the end. So give your life to Jesus Christ. Be born again. Call upon the name of the Lord, and you shall be saved.